I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories coming up on today's show.
Social media has become a platform in recent days for a concerned group of individuals hoping to change a Swift Current physician's decision to resign from his duties at the Cypress Regional Hospital. The 2012-13 winter season has brought a good deal of snowfall across Saskatchewan. And as we look forward to spring, the Saskatchewan Water Security Agency is keeping a close eye on several regions, which may see higher than normal runoff levels this year. For many, the 2012-13 winter season has dragged on extensively. And as we look forward to spring, a new round of concerns will be faced by motorists on local streets with potholes.
Thanks for joining us here today. A Swift Current physician's future within the Cypress Health region has been in the social media spotlight. And in today's top story, we bring you this update.
Social media has become a platform in recent days for a concerned group of individuals hoping to change a Swift Current physician's decision to resign from his duties at the Cypress Regional Hospital. The Keep Dr. Togboto Facebook group has posted numerous comments outlining concerns for his situation and ultimate decision to move on to another community. Comments at times which became emotional, with apologies later updated on the page. Dr. Togboto has been in Swift Current since March of 2010 and is one of several internal specialists at the Cypress Regional Hospital. As a production time for this Southwest TV News story, Cypress Health region officials were indicating some progress was being made between all parties.
I'm hopeful that we'll be able to achieve our objectives and have meaningful discussion with Dr. Togboto as well as with the other members of the internal medicine department. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to reach an agreement and solution. We're almost there. You know, we have a verbal commitment from him that he likes the plan that we and they proposed.
He goes on to stress that it's not the intention of the Cypress Health region to overwork any of its employees and is hoping to alleviate any concerns that exist. For in the end, patient care and safety is always a #1 priority.
And in order to address that, our long-term plan is to have 4 full-time internal medicine specialists. You know, some of them may be with interest in some subspecialty like Dr. Togboto in nephrology. We're exploring option of maybe getting an internal medicine with interest in pulmonology to complement our other specialists. Once we have 4, I think it will be much easier for the physicians to cover and to provide 24/7 coverage.
Dr. Radevsky further adds that the health region received numerous phone calls and emails regarding Dr. Togboto's situation and appreciates the concerns raised by his fellow colleagues and patients and wanted to clear up some details which were circulating in the community.
With regard to nephrology, there also has been some comments on the internet as to why we are barring Dr. Togboto from practicing his specialty. That is not really factual, and we have committed to work with him and with the Regina Nephrology Group as well as with the ministry to find a solution and to find a meaningful role for Dr. Togboto to play in the overall hemodialysis and renal program. So we're hopeful that should he decide to stay, I think we'll be able to achieve some success there.
Southwest TV News will continue to follow this story as it unfolds.
Trust the team at Pinnacle Financial to help you reach your financial goals. Whether you require personal or corporate income tax planning, bookkeeping, management consulting, or full-service mortgage brokering, our expert team has you covered. Contact us today to begin your climb to the top.
Into the month of March, and a higher than normal spring runoff is expected in many areas across Saskatchewan. And to this point in time, the Cypress Hills region is not expected to be in the red flag zone.
The 2012-13 winter season has brought a good deal of snowfall across Saskatchewan. And as we look forward to spring, the Saskatchewan Water Security Agency is keeping a close eye on several regions, which may see higher than normal runoff levels this year.
Yeah, there are some areas between Saskatoon and Prince Albert and Moose Jaw to Yorkton, sort of around there, that have the potential for well above normal runoff. So, the Water Security Agency, we're working hard on this, and we'll have another forecast coming out in March. But we continue to monitor the situation, and we'll adjust the forecast as needed.
Boyle goes on to add that 3 key factors come into play when his team looks at forecasting the spring runoff. This includes the snow accumulation throughout the winter, the rate of snow melting in the spring, and the amount of rainfall during the spring runoff. And further to this, his team uses a number of scientific tools with their overall assessment.
What we're looking at now is that snow water equivalent, and that it's about 150 to 200% above normal right now. And so the snow water equivalent represents how much water would be created if all the snow in the ground melted. So that's something we monitor by satellite, and we also do traditional on-the-ground sampling sometimes to verify those readings. So this last forecast, we actually went out, and our staff, the Water Security Agency, took a series of 38 manual snow samples from areas across the province to the end of January. And in that, with the satellite data and some of the point data from accumulated snowfall at weather stations, help us to create that picture in this forecast.
And at this point in time, the current runoff forecast does not raise any red flags for the Cypress Hills Maple Creek area by the agency or the town itself.
If you look outside, this is Maple Creek. We're the desert of the south of Saskatchewan, I guess, of the southwest. There's quite a bit of snow up in the park, but there's nothing like there was in 2010 when they had 7-8 feet. There's not near that much. There's I'm guessing maybe 2-3 feet on the level. It's not going to be enough to bother. I mean, this never say never, I guess, if it starts raining again. But if we don't have the spring runoff events, we're certainly not concerned about it at this point.
Communities such as Maple Creek have learned from past experiences, such as the massive flooding of 2011, and have since invested in infrastructure by building dikes and making use of berms. The Saskatchewan Water Security Agency will be releasing its next spring runoff forecast in mid-March.
Our company helps tell your story and provides you with a solution on how to market your business. Because making a great video is only half the equation. You have to know how to use it.
We have done a major.
Spring is just around the corner, and city crews are already addressing pothole issues in Swift Current. We have more in this report.
For many, the 2012-13 winter season has dragged on extensively. And as we look forward to spring, a new round of concerns will be faced by motorists on local streets with potholes. The city's director of engineering says his department is already addressing the task at hand, with a possible increase in road work over past years.
This has been a pretty unusual winter. We've had a lot of freeze-thaw cycles, and it's been very hard on our roadways. I was looking at our information from last year, and our maintenance program was in the area of about $650,000 for asphalt maintenance last year, and that included pothole patching in there. But typically, pothole patching isn't necessary to a large degree until closer to the spring melt. However, because of even January had some fairly major temperature swings. So what crews have done is now there were some drainage issues over the weekend. We've begun pothole patching. Conditions aren't perfect for pothole patching. There is some limits, and despite some efforts in the past week, we've had various levels of results with those attempts at patching.
Forrester further indicates that once the temperatures start to warm up, crews will be out in full force addressing any pothole issues, while fully utilizing a new hot mix system which was purchased this past year.
It actually warms the mix. It uses warm oil and aggregate. However, it too has limitations for winter patch work, but crews will certainly do their best to tend to the worst cases out there.
And if you're aware of any streets with massive potholes, be a watchdog for the city and let the engineering department know. This way, their crews can add it to the list of streets requiring their attention this spring.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.